Hey, this is episode number 42 of the Local Artist and Band series. And in this video, we have Better Yet with us. I'm real excited about that. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Chris with Picks and Sticks Music Studio. And we're an all things music channel. We like to support our local artists and bands. And if you want to see more interviews like this, please subscribe, hit that bell for notifications to see more interviews. And if you want to do an interview with me, don't be afraid to reach out and request an interview. And, I don't usually turn people down. So let's do it. And if you like this interview, please hit the like button. Not only does it help me, it helps the bands as well, because more likes this video gets, more plays it gets, and more recognition they get. Like I said, this is episode number 42, and I'm very excited to welcome Better Yet to the interview. Let me unmute them and bring them in. They're coming. Here they are. Hey guys, I really appreciate you guys being here with me, and we talked a little bit beforehand and stuff, so we got to know each other. Icebreakers. Well, why don't you introduce yourselves real quick?
What's up? Thanks for having us, by the way. We're excited to be here. My name's Noah.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And our drummer, Steven, is at work, but we're Better Yet.
Awesome. All right. Scott Reeves is in here. He's our moderator and one of my buddies. But he's asking, guys out there, if you're out there, my questions always are terrible. The viewers' questions are always a lot better than mine. So if you have a question, ask it. And we'll get it in there. The band will ask it, answer it. And the band's already seen mine, so they know it. So you give a question, throws them off guard a little bit, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But get those questions in. All right, icebreaker question. I kind of screw myself here. I'm in the dark. It's Halloween. Halloween's in like 2 days, but now I can't see without glasses on because it's freaking dark in here. What is your favorite season of the year?
You want to go first?
I'll go first. Mine's winter.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because it's furthest away from summer.
Wow.
I mean, you really hate summer?
Yeah.
Wow, fair enough. Mine's fall, so perfect time right now. And we should guess Steven's. Every time there's a question like this, we should guess what Steven's answer
Steven's
would be.
Probably fall too.
I think. Oh, I was going to say summer because that's when his birthday is.
Yeah, but it's really hot and he hates sweating.
Oh, you're right. His is probably fall too.
Yeah, I don't know what mine is. Not that anybody cares about mine, but I kind of like fall. We always do a huge Halloween party every year, so it's probably fall, but Christmas is pretty awesome too. But
it's either fall or winter, so that's good.
Yeah. Next question, which I might ask two questions out of this one because we're talking about how all of you were drummers, but my icebreaker question was, what's better? Because Better Yet, what's better, guitars or cars?
I'm going to have to go with guitars on this one.
I'm going to have to agree with that. Guitars all the way.
But I will say cars are really cool also. Even though my car isn't that cool, I can appreciate a really cool car. If I see one, I'm always like, that car is awesome. I don't know what it is. Guitars, though, you can play guitars. I guess you can drive cars.
You can drive cars, but
you can't really make music with
create art with a car. I mean, maybe you could, but not practically.
Yeah, we're gonna go with guitars. I think we're more of a guitar band than a car band, really. So tough choice, but cars are out. Guitars.
Okay. I think I agree too, because you can buy more than one guitar. It's really tough to buy multiple cars.
Yeah.
And how many more guitars do you need?
You never have too many.
One more.
Oh yeah, one more. Yeah, well,
one more.
Because that answer is always one more.
Right, it's always going to be one more, no matter how many.
Yeah, that's right. So one more. All right. Well, here's the second part of that question. What's better, guitars or drums?
I'm gonna say
guitar.
I'm gonna say drums. I'm gonna stick to drums because I was a drummer first. Drums are better.
Could you write a song with just drums though?
Sure, for sure. Because you can tune drums to different things, and I'll tune them to each note of the scale.
All right, with a 3-piece kit.
a 3-piece kit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I bet I could write a song.
All right.
My son did that. He had a whole verse and chorus, everything with drums. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, you're playing the same thing over and over. And he's like, oh, it's a song I wrote. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's actually kind of awesome, but I've never seen anybody do that. But
Listen,
in his head, he probably had lyrics and everything, but who knows?
I've seen a percussion ensemble many a time. I could write you a song with drums for sure.
Percussion ensembles too.
Okay,
Drums.
I've seen solos on percussion. So yeah.
If you're just getting in here, if you want to ask questions in the chat, let us know, and we'll get those answered. And also, if you could for us, smash that like button, and subscribe if you want to see more of these interviews. How did the band form?
Okay, so this is what happened. I went to college with Steven, the drummer, in Milledgeville, and we formed, better yet, with another one of our friends. Not actually Alex, it was our old lead singer. And then we booked a little acoustic gig, and I was playing guitar, and then Steven and our old singer, they were both just singing. But then the gig, for that gig, we asked Alex to play guitar, and he didn't even really play guitar yet at the time, just a little bit. He was like just starting.
I owned a guitar.
Yeah, he had a guitar. So I was like, do you want to play at this show with us? And then he was like, sure. And then the show got canceled, and then that was right before COVID. And so then we had to leave the school. And so then there was like 6 months of us agreeing to do the gig and then not having anything else to do. So after a while, like after a few months into that, we started playing together again. And then we were like, we should because all three of us played drums. So Steven played drums. I was like, we could be a real band. Like, Steven, you can just play the drums, and then I'll play bass or something. And then Alex will play guitar. Our lead singer would sing. And then we asked this other guy, Seth, to join to play guitar, and he joined, and it was awesome. And that was like 2020, late 2020. And our first show was January 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we released Red Handed, our first song. And after that, we moved to Atlanta, and then Seth got married, and that's why he had to leave the band. So now it's just the three of us. And he lives in Macon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where'd
But
you?
we all went to high school together. The funny thing is, me, Steven, and Alex were all like best friends in high school, and we all played in the band. We all played in the drum line. But we never started a band in high school. We never even so much as
considered it.
Yeah, we never played together. We never did anything because he didn't play guitar yet. So we weren't going to have like 2 drummers. And then I don't know what I would have done.
We would have been 3 drummers.
We would have been just drummers and singing. So full circle, drums are better than guitar.
So
Then
how many
that started?
How many years are you on guitar now?
Me?
Yeah.
4 now.
Okay, man, you play really well for 4 years. You're killing it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, my sister's in here wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's your birthday? Oh, my screen just went off. It's your birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Mine's tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Yeah, my mom always said that I was originally, her due date was Halloween. She said she had to have me early so she could ride her broom.
Wow.
Yeah, she came up with that, not me. How'd you come up with the name?
It was actually Seth, our old guitar player, suggested it. I have no clue how he came.
We were just coming up with like a list of names just that we thought sounded cool, and there was like no meaning behind any of them. And better yet, just happened to be from that list that we liked the most.
We thought it sounded.
So the unfortunate, real news is that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It's just completely made up.
Yeah, it's just made
like
up.
a lot of great bands, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, we could assign meaning to it. With each release, they'll be even
true.
better, and we'll continue to improve, and so will the songs. And
we're gonna go with that.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Who are some of your biggest influences?
Well, me personally, I would say the Beatles, Rush, Nate Ruess. Those are the 3 biggest. And I feel like I tend to write the bulk of the words and like the structure, not necessarily the specifics. So I don't know where you get like your specific influence.
I would say like as a musician, Rush is probably my like favorite inspiration as far as like just getting better in music in general. But like for part writing stuff, I like to look at like a lot of more modern bands like Paramore and Blink and Sum 41, like bands like that. As far as like sounds that I'm going for, I'd be like looking at those bands.
Right. No, I can definitely see some influence in your songs with that. Definitely.
And then Steven, he's not here, but he is the one that introduced at least me, but I feel like both of us, to pop punk like a couple of years ago, because he grew up on it and I never listened to it at all. So then he was like, you should check these bands out. And that was like Mayday Parade, Yellow Card, Sum 41, Newfound Glory, Blink 182.
Yeah.
Like all those bands. I didn't listen to them until like 2 years ago. I'm gonna be honest.
I also like a lot of those bands too, and use those as inspiration.
I'd never heard of them. So when he showed that to me, I was like, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe I never heard of this. And then that's really the inspiration for like the song we just released, and then all of the songs that we're going to release going into like the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the biggest, those last influences are the biggest specifically for our music now.
Nice. This is a good question. I had a question. My next question was going to be this, but this is better than my question because it expands on it. What are some of your favorite venues that you've played, and a few still on your bucket list?
Favorite venues. I really like Smith's.
Yeah, that one is pretty awesome. I think we've played there probably the most of any place.
Amici in Milledgeville is also.
Oh yeah, Amici in Milledgeville. That's a nice restaurant. They have a good stage there, and like it sounds nice. They're always nice to us. But locally in Atlanta, it's probably Smith's Old Bar, or like Red Light Cafe. They're always great there. Like they're really nice, and I feel like the audiences are generally really good. And I don't know, bucket list wise, I would play anywhere really. I've played in cool places and places that aren't that
Mercedes-Benz.
Cool. Yeah, that would be Mercedes-Benz is a good one. That new one that they just opened, the Dome in Las Vegas with the screen.
Oh, that would be sick.
That one, definitely. I think next year probably we'll do that. So.
You got to put Tabernacle on your list, though.
Oh, the Tabernacle?
The Tabernacle, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's not like superstardom, but that'd be pretty epic.
That would be epic. Honestly, upstairs at Smith's would be epic. We've never played there, so maybe we play there first.
Upstairs at Smith's.
That would be pretty cool.
Mad Life's pretty cool too.
Oh, we played at the Georgia Theater in Athens. That was awesome.
You know what? That
would be really good.
One of my favorites.
That one was the coolest in terms of like how cool it was. For sure.
Nice. I gotta find another question. My sister stole that one. All right. What's the funniest thing that you've had happen? It could be rehearsal, it could be on stage, or anything where you're playing your music.
I got one.
I have one too. You go first.
We were doing a 2-3 hour set in Athens at a bar.
Oh, that was the one I was gonna say.
And like literally the first song, Noah broke his low E string on his bass.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a replacement.
Well,
how do you pick a string on a bass?
He broke his low E string on the bass, which is like the one you use 80% of the time. So he just was like playing everything up like an octave, like on the spot, just having to do that for like the entire several hour. That was hilarious. And people were like noticing it and like pointing it out and like coming up with names for him. And I was laughing watching him like struggle to play all these super high bass parts.
The other funny thing about that show that you forgot to mention is in addition to that happening, there weren't enough inputs for us to sing. So there were no vocals at that 3-hour show either. But the funny thing was a lot of people were still having a great time. And a lot of people were when we eventually got to the covers, it
was probably a top 5 crowd for sure.
Yeah, they were all singing along and stuff. There were people chanting 3-String Jones because I broke my string.
That's awesome.
It was like 10 minutes in. I got to play 3 songs, literally 2 or 3 songs. And then I had to play like 28 songs with 3 strings. But it really wasn't that bad, honestly. I was only missing the lowest 5 notes. And the E was devastating to not be able to fall back on, even in terms of just like with my fingers. Like it wasn't there. I don't know. I've never played a bass like that ever. Except for that one
Hopefully
time.
You won't have to.
So yeah, I have strings in my bass case now. I haven't had to use them, of course, because nobody breaks bass strings.
I know, but you figured out how though. It's probably something wrong with the string. That we'll go with that. I mean, Scott, we were rehearsing for the Halloween party, and I've never seen anybody break 2 strings at one time. Scott did that.
Oh, what? I've never seen that.
There were the higher strings, but he was probably bending on one and bent the second one, right, and pop. Awesome. So let's talk about this. Your latest single, "Say I Love It." "Say You Love Me," right? That's your latest, and we're gonna play that. But you want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. I think I wrote this song like maybe a year and a half ago, and then just sent like we actually just he found it recently. The first demo, it was horrible.
It's on acoustic guitar.
It was on acoustic guitar, and the structure was a little different. There was no slow breakdown section. And then I sent it to Steven and Alex, and they were both like, "This is great. We should play this song." And I was like, "Okay." And then we played it, and then that's when we came up with adding the slow breakdown section, the like tempo change. I don't remember how we decided to do that.
Well, it changed a couple times where we were like, oh, let's have it sound this way. And we did that for a while. And then one time I was like, oh, what if we switched it over to this new thing I came up with? And then you and Steven were like, oh, that's dope. Let's come up with parts off of that. And we kind of just, I don't know, jammed it out.
And then eventually, we just went through so many iterations that we landed on the one that we just released. And that's kind of how we've played it for like the last year, probably. We've been playing it for a long time.
I feel like the beginning kind of hits hard, and then it kind of mellows out a little bit, and then it kind of ramps back up, and I like it a lot.
We tried to have it be like, I guess, dynamic. It's pretty evenly loud, but I feel like there's some dynamics to it, and lyrically it's just supposed to be like, I guess it's like if somebody expresses like that they love you or have feelings for you and then betray you or whatever, that might be a reaction to it. That could be it. And then I was like, that would be a good idea. And then that's how I came up with, because usually what happens when I write a song is I'll get the chorus part, like in my head, I'll just think of the chorus. And then I'm like, well, what does that even mean really? And then that's when I have to write the verses. And I don't even know what the song is supposed to be about. And then eventually I'm like, oh, okay, well, it could be about this. And then I just go for that for the rest of it. So it really isn't that deep, but I think it's a banger. I think it's a good time. I think people will have a good time.
Awesome. Well, let's play it. I'm going to mute you, and I can't mute me because it screws it up. But I'm going to mute you guys, and we'll play the song. And let me bring the song in. Awesome. All right, well, here we go. And if it's not playing, like, give me this or something. All right, here we go.
What's the matter with you? Why are you screaming when you know I'm right? No, I'm right here. I can't help but thinking, what a stupid thing to say to me. You said you love me. It's just a way to try and get into my head. Cut the life so boring, just leave me for dead. Why do you have to come and say you love me? You never tried before to say you love me. You'd rather die than have to say you love me. Waited all this time to say you love me too. So why'd you have to go and say you love me? You love me. You must find it easy to forget about the guys you never call. You never call me. So get away from me, please. I'm begging on my knees, just never call. Please never call me. It's just a way to try and get into your head. There were times when I wished you loved me instead. Of how we ended up, we never should chance. So why did you decide to say you love me? You never tried before to say you love me. You'd rather die than have to say you love me. Waited all this time to say you love me too. So why'd you have to go and say you love me? Why do you have to go and say you love me? You'd rather die than have to say you love me. Waited all this time to say you love me too. So why'd you have to go and say you love me? You love me.
Awesome, man. Hold on, let me unmute you. Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Nice.
They come out okay on your end. Sometimes it, bandwidth and all, it'll get a little choppy and stuff, but
No, I mean, actually, we could hear it the whole time.
Yeah.
I think.
I've actually heard the song before too. So
Oh, you have?
yeah,
I've never heard
so
that.
I was able to follow along.
Oh, I've never heard that before. I thought it was pretty cool.
awesome. No, I love that. There's one part I never noticed it before. It's got I don't know, it was like 3/4 of the way through. You had a riff in there, and almost like I can't remember the band. Just remind me of a totally like 70s, late 70s band, almost like I don't know, it wasn't like Barracuda or something, but there was something in there. Just had a feel of that like 70s, 80 era.
Was it in the breakdown? Or
Might
like
have been.
In the instrumental section.
Yeah, it was like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
All right, I just had a cool. It was totally different from the rest of the song, but it fit perfect. I mean, it had like a cool,
I'm glad you liked it.
I'm too.
We were hoping that it would make people a little confused at first and be like, oh, this is different. And then eventually be like, but it works out.
Yeah.
And then they get back to the end and then they're like, oh, I know this part. And then
No, Priscilla says great song.
Thanks, Priscilla.
Awesome. What do you enjoy more, writing or performing?
Probably performing.
I'd say performing. I will say like actually like process of like recording and like watching the like creation of a song is really like satisfying. Like watching a song go from nothing to like having a nice polished version of it is like really satisfying. But playing shows is like that quick thrill. Although, some shows aren't a lot of fun. Some shows you're like driving a long time and it doesn't like end up being a good show, and that could be a little disappointing. But some shows are really awesome.
Yeah, most of the time they're like good enough. Like, yeah, I mean, we had fun. It was, but with writing, I feel like I have a lot of ideas, but I'm not very good at finishing my ideas, or just not very like super disciplined in it.
Mhm.
So it is fun. Like I do like it, but performing, I think, comes more naturally to us than writing songs.
So the riffs, like, or one person writing the melodies, one person writing the riffs, or like what comes first, the melody, the riffs, the chord progression?
It's
Or is it
kind of different for every song, at least so far. We don't really have a like formula we follow.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have an internal formula. I feel like typically the process is I mean, it's not always this, but typically I'll start writing a song and then I'm like, I think it's done. And then I show it to them and then they like say whether or not they like the song. And then if they like the song, then we'll just play it like in a live setting, not like at a show right away, but like we'll play it with our instruments. And then, typically everyone writes their own part. Sometimes we suggest stuff to each other and then stick with that.
Right.
And then I end up writing the vocal melody pretty much every time, just because I'm the one singing it.
Right.
And even before I was the singer, I used to do that. I wasn't even the one singing most of the time, and I would write the melody.
Cool. Gear. So you all play guitar as well?
Well, technically, we do all play guitar because Steven's learning how to play guitar now. But I don't know anything about gear. This is the gear. I used to work at Guitar Center. I faked it the whole time. That's probably why they fired me. So this is the guy that you want to go to.
Well, what do you like? What instruments we play?
No, just all right. American or British?
For the instruments themselves,
No, amps.
but for the amps, British.
British. Okay. So you're going to be more Marshall or like Vox?
Well, I might be a little biased because I play through a Marshall, but Marshall.
All right. So what guitar you use?
I play, my main guitar is a Gibson 335.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I love that thing.
It's hollow body.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a semi-hollow.
Okay.
And then I also have a Les Paul that I really like, that I need to get fixed. And then I had a Fender Strat, but it got stolen recently.
Yeah, our house got broken into.
Oh, that stinks.
So I'm down a guitar, but
I hope it was an American.
it was
It was,
Oh man, that
and it matched my American.
it was an American Pro Stratocaster, and it's gone. It's somewhere else.
sucks.
Yeah, so if anybody sees it, it's Olympic white, turtle shell pick guard, American Professional 2.
It's got a like dent in the body.
What type of wood is the neck?
Maple.
Maple. And it's pretty common, honestly, but
It is. Yeah, it is.
so
That stinks. So you have a Fender bass with a P style, I guess, or
I play jazz bass.
jazz bass. Okay.
But yeah, it's a Fender. And I have a Hofner. We've used it on one Better Yet song. And it's the least popular one, I'm sure. That has to be why. No, I'm kidding. But I only have two basses.
And they have there are strings and everything.
Right now they have all their strings, but the Hofner's missing one of the knobs, and I didn't get it replaced.
What amp do you play through?
I don't play through an amp. I have the Getty
Front of house.
Tech 21 Sans amp YYZ pedal.
And then
Yeah,
like the front of
just-
house from there.
He just
Yeah.
plays through the PA of the venue.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, they have the
Sound
sub.
guys love
Usually,
it.
usually all have a kick-ass sub or something, So
Sound guys are always like, works for me. Every time. That's what they say. Works for me. I'm like, that means they love me. They love that.
and like Smith's old bar upstairs, man, they got that huge sub on the floor right there. Oh, that thing is just thunder.
Yeah.
But awesome. So, what are your future goals?
Conquer the universe.
Here, we'll narrow it down. Your goals for the rest of this year and then 2 years out.
Okay, so
I mean,
the
if you want to conquer the world before the end of this year, that's cool too. But
yeah,
Running out of time.
yeah, we probably
Maybe
won't
next
be able
year.
to, but next year probably. This year we will probably, we're definitely releasing one more song. We haven't scheduled it yet, but it's definitely going to come out before the end of the year. And we'll try and get it in well before Christmas music time. And then next year we will release 4 more songs. Hopefully,
Maybe more.
yeah, well, hopefully way more. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll start releasing other stuff on like Audio Mac and SoundCloud too. I don't know. We really don't know. We don't have a lot of specific stuff, but our main goal is going to be releasing more music next year and just recording more like demos, and then hopefully that will lead to recording more songs, and then we'll release those. And another goal we've talked about is playing different songs at our live shows. So we're going to try and switch up the live sets so that it isn't the same, because we've been kind of playing the same set for the last year with a few, changes. We don't play literally the same thing, but the
right.
bulk is the same. So we're going to try and switch that up and release new music and just grow our small fan base. But we love our fans. We have a few.
We do.
And
Yeah, I mean, some of your songs are kicking butt. I mean,
yeah,
Red-handed.
People seem to be listening to it, and we're gonna just release more stuff so that they can listen to more of it. And even if it's just these people, then they'll have more stuff to listen to. That's the main goal, just to give the current fans, the ones that come to the shows, because there's a few of them that come to almost every show. So we want to play different songs for them and like release different songs so that they have more to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of briefly touched on. If anybody has any questions they want to get in before the end of this interview, where can people find your music? You kind of touched on it a little bit. Obviously, Spotify, because that's where we just played that one.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music,
YouTube.
YouTube. YouTube. That's the most popular one. So some of you out there might use it. That's where you'll find us. Deezer. Tidal, everything. TikTok.
Where can people see?
What was the one that we were just added to?
AudioMac.
AudioMac.
Yeah.
Where can people see you play, and how can they help you get into some other venues that you want to get into?
Well, you can see us play. The next one we have scheduled is actually Smithsville Bar, December 30th. And we're going to be doing like a New Year's Eve show. But we play in Atlanta a lot. We play in Georgia a lot. If we're not playing in Atlanta, it's probably going to be in Athens or Milledgeville, or Macon. We play in those places primarily. You can catch us in Opelika, Alabama sometimes. And we'll branch out slowly but surely. And if you want to help us, if you want us to play wherever you live and it's not one of those places, then you're going to have to, for us to be able to know that, you'll have to let us know. So you can do that by commenting on our post. That'll help.
Or emailing.
You can email us.
At
wearebetteryet@gmail.com. You can email us if you want. Or you can just listen to the music, and then we'll know where you live because Spotify will send us your address. No, because they tell us where people are listening, and then we can be like, oh, maybe we should go play there. So if you want us to play in different places, listen to our music in a different place, just travel there, listen to it for hours.
That's right.
And that's where we should go. We'll go there.
Hey, watch next month. You're gonna have a huge following in like Britain or
Oh yeah. Oh, what was the country? There was one country in Africa.
Oh yeah, we are
Gotta
pretty
shout
popular
them
in
out.
Africa.
Loved on AudioMac. They loved us. I think it was.
I was gonna look on Spotify, but
Let me pull it up real quick.
you know what's funny? A lot of the local bands have a huge following overseas. It's crazy. Like Rare Birds have a huge following overseas, but not a big following here. And it's just like, it doesn't make sense. Like they're from here, but why are they, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But here you can see when you look at our, I don't know if I can get this top cities.
Hold on.
Oh, it's saying, it's kind of hard to show it. Sorry. Top countries. Here we go. Cuba, France, Ghana, Nigeria, and then Russia. But shout out to them too. I mean, whoever's listening to the music.
That's awesome that you can see that.
It's on AudioMac. Everybody check out AudioMac. I don't know what happened. We didn't know about AudioMac until like a few months ago, and then we uploaded our songs on there, and then Red Handed, for some reason, it has like 5,000 streams on AudioMac, but all of them are from those countries, and it's split exactly 5 ways now. So that's odd.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. Well, we're talking about social media, so let's talk about social media, and I'll bring that up. And they have a Linktree, and I have it down in the description. I'm pretty sure I do. If I don't, I will put it there, but I'm pretty positive it's down there. So we'll have this where you can go to all their stuff: Apple Music, Spotify, their merch, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. You would
post memes on TikTok, by the way. If anybody's interested in memes, we post those. We're not in them, but sometimes we are in the video and they're not memes. But usually lately it's been memes. So follow us on TikTok.
You want to talk about your merch or anything? Anything else you want to plug? Or
the merch isn't in here. I was gonna hang it or show it, but it's just it's awesome. Check out the link. Oh yeah, there it is. Perfect. Yeah, that was perfect. Those are stickers. And
that's an awesome photo.
Shout out to my sister. She takes most of, like 99% of our photos at Fenimore Photo. Check her out. Who else can we plug here? Mockingbird Talent books our shows. Check out Mockingbird bands such as Frigga 5, Perfect Animal, Artist
Animal's
Giant
awesome.
Animal. Yeah, Perfect Animal is awesome.
I've interviewed them a couple times.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's actually how we found out about you, is watching Perfect Animal. I think, yeah, when they were Ugly Smile.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like, because I was a huge Ugly Smile fan too.
Yeah. And I think the last time I interviewed them, we did on Spotify instead of Instagram instead of this. But anyway, cool. I really appreciate you being on here, and
We really appreciate you having us on, and yeah, it was a good time
Yes, thank you.
hanging out.
yeah, and everybody, if you're still watching, like, subscribe, and all that stuff. We'll have more interviews, and you never know, you might see them back on here. A lot of times, bands will contact me, be like, "Hey, I got a whole album coming out. I really want to do an interview," and they'll come back on and do an interview just for that album or whatever. So, yeah. So I appreciate you being on here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys grow, and hopefully I'll see a show soon.
Heck yeah.
So awesome. Well, everybody, thank you for watching, and go straight home.